Okay, let's now do the shir of Chav Beis Tishrei. The Alter Rebbe just gave us a long dissertation, relatively speaking, explaining the incredible maila of 10 Yidden being together, and arguing that it doesn't really matter what those 10 Yidden are doing, as long as there are 10 Yidden in a room, and as I suggested, even if they're the Shoyim Gemurim, you have 10 Yidden in a room, there's an incredible presence of the Shechina that will be overwhelming to a Malach, and the fact is we don't experience Malachim, and in a way that's to our advantage. Like it says in Tanya Perichov Gimel, that because we don't experience godliness, we're able to do many mitzvahs and it doesn't destroy us and so forth. But the fact nevertheless remains that whether we feel it or not, there's an incredible Gilui Elokus when 10 Yidden are together, no matter what they're doing. So the Alter Rebbe continues on the shir of Chav Beis, which is Shmini Atzeres, and he says, Valkein therefore, Rabbe Einai, it's evil in my eyes, it's wrong in my eyes. Hamaisa shenasa tachas hashemesh, the deed which is done tachas hashemesh, bechlal, in all communities of Yidden, or befrat be'nachai v'rei, especially amongst my brothers and friends, that means, I guess, chassidim, and negoshim hadeshem, that are approaching the Eivish, that hagosha zu tefillah, as the Chazal say that hagosha means to daven. In other words, when they daven, they're taka davening, but before davening or after davening, the environment in which the davening becomes a seat for silliness. It says in Chazal, if you have two Jews sitting together and they fail to learn Torah, it's considered a terrible, terrible thing. So even if you have two Jews not learning Torah, it's considered very undesirable. But when this environment of silliness and mockery is done with 10 Yidden, and we know the Shechinta Shal Yalai, that when you have 10 Jews, the Shechina is present. But the Alter Rebbe, Ein Lecha Al Beina V'Kalma, the Shechinta Gadol Mizah. There can be no greater shame and embarrassment to the Shechina than this, Rachmana Litzlan, because it's as if the Eibishter is present, and you're telling him, I'm not interested in you. Now you'll see, in against the case, the Shchav Daled, the Alter Rebbe gives an even worse example, which when a person is doing it in the middle of davening. But here, he's talking Bein Mincha Lamayda, between the tefillas. The Im Amr Razal, if the Gemara says, Allah Eiver Aveda Baseiser, when a person does Aveda by himself in private, Shedeiche Kragli Ashchina Chas V'Shalom, he's pushing away the feet of the Shechina, God forbid. Says the Alter Rebbe, Eiver Aveda Barabim, when a person sins collectively in public, so Deiche Kol Shir Kema Sheitze Bereishis Kol Yachol, he's putting away, not pushing away, not just the Shechina, but the whole Shir Kema. In other words, Shechina would be Malchus, which is the sphere closest to us, and the Shechin is being pushed away when a person sins in private. But when you sin with a group, with a minyan, and simply, the sin is not a sin of commission, it's a sin of omission, of not valuing what it means to be together with the Shechina, because there's 10 Yidden. It's Deiche Kol Shir Keim Sheyetze Bereishis Kol Yachol, pushes away all of the 10 spheres. From Maimer Azaz, the Gemara says, Ein Ani V'Hu V'Chuli, God Almighty cannot exist where there is chutzpah and gaiva, and in this case disrespect to the Eibishter. God Almighty is trapped. He's never stuck there, because since the Eibishter says in his Torah, so he must be present when there's 10 Jews, and we're pushing him away, so he's there and he's being pushed away. Woe is to the person who pushes away the Shechinta. That when Kutcha B'richu is going to say, that means in the future, V'yem Allah and speak, Hisnari me'yafar kumi v'gemi, that we should get up from the dust. And if, this is a Lashon Hazeh, if we were doichek the Shechina, before, when the moment of Hisnari me'yafar kumi comes, it's going to be very not good. And apparently this is also Hazeh, Val Tlas Milim is Akvi Sol Begalusa. There are 3 things that keep Yidden in Golus, and one of them is, Al the Dachkin l'Shechinta, they push away the Shechina. V'al the Avdin Kalana b'Shechinta, they make, so to speak, a joke out of the Shechina v'chulu, k'meshikosta b'zeir al-Kodesh. See, so this is very non-specific. How are you deichek ragul Shechina? There's many ways. And the Alter Rebbe suggests a novel way, a new way. The very fact that you have 10 Jews, and there's a lack of respect for the Eibishter, a lack of sense of the presence of the Shechina, is another form of the chikas ha-Shechina. So the Alter Rebbe is strongly discouraging this practice, and that's why it's from tomorrow, which is Simchas Torah Shir. We're going to learn how the Alter Rebbe suggests to use the moment you have in Shul Bein Tefillah L'Tefillah for learning and for davening and for good things.